Welcome to Power Charting. I am your host, Bruce Frazier. We have a great show for you today. We are here to discuss seasonality in financial markets with Tia Muratovic, Dimitri Speck. They are the co-founders of Seasonax, Seasonax.com, and are really among the foremost experts in the world on the principles and research of seasonality. So very excited to have them here. You've seen their research often in the past on power charting, and we are going to hear from them how seasonality can positively influence your portfolio for investing and trading. So let's get started. One brief announcement, and that is ChartCon. ChartCon is coming up October 7th and 8th. It's going to be a great program, the biggest and best one yet. I'm very excited to be participating in this. I've got three great segments, three great parts in this. I'm very excited about interviewing Martin Pring. I'm also very excited about some new research that I'm going to show you on how to find leadership through sectors, through industry groups, best stocks and best groups using the tools at Stock Charts. So please be there, join me. We're going to have a great time. Many other great speakers are going to be there also. Dimitri and Tia, thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited to hear your presentation.
Thank you, Bruce. We are looking forward to it.
So, Dimitri, I understand you're going to start. So with the limited time that we have, take it away.
Thank you, Bruce, and welcome to everyone to this short introduction in seasonal power charting. Seasonality in general is often mentioned when it's about stock indices or also commodities, but seasonality exists also in stocks and currencies and even bonds. Here I show you a very simple example. You see the blue line. This is the performance of the Dow Jones in the winter half, in the winter season from November to April. And in red, you see the summer half from May to October. This effect is also called Halloween effect. And for sure, you have heard already of sell in May and go away. And this saying is known since the 1930s. And this is why I'm showing it to you, because you see here that it exists now over 60 years. So it means that there is some value in seasonality. Yeah, we come later how you can trade these patterns. Yeah, but this just is an example that seasonality has a tendency to persist over a long period of time. How can you look at seasonality very fast? For this, a seasonal chart is very helpful. And I show you here the S&P 500 seasonal chart over 25 years. And this is not a normal chart as you are used to, but it is an average curve of the return over this period of 25 years. You can see here in every point of the year where the performance is on the day and the percent scale on the left. And we have, for instance, here the trend from March to end of April. Here we have the sell in May and go away effect with this red arrow. And then we have the autumn rally or year-end rally. And here at the very end, from mid of December, we have the Christmas rally. So a chart, a seasonal chart, helps you to depict a seasonal trend at a glance, very quick. Yeah. And this was an example for stock indices. But in my opinion, what is very interesting is the seasonality in stocks themselves. Yeah, because we have much more stocks than stocks indices. And if there is an individual seasonal trend in a stock or in a stock sector also, then you have the chance of an outperformance at any time of the year. Yeah, this is the advantage compared to this simple sell May and go away. Yeah, because also in the worst months of the year, there are a seasonal pattern, which in particular stocks, which give you a chance of an outperformance. And what you see here is the seasonal trend of Microsoft. And this is for me also very interesting because I was looking at the seasonal chart very long, and then I found the reason behind this seasonal trend in October, which is marked. Yeah, from the second week of October around about until the first week of November, you have a huge outperformance, which is an average almost like the total performance of the year, or even a little bit more. And where does this performance come from? I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I found a few years ago, this is also why I didn't make an update of this chart. This is, I found that during this period, yeah, Microsoft did earnings surprises. So at the beginning of October, the company reported usually significantly better earnings than in other periods in the other 3 quarters of the year. Yeah, and this leads to this significant outperformance. And this shows to you that there are good fundamental reasons for particular price movements, seasonal price movements in stocks, which you can easily find if you have good tools. And this gives you the chance in every period of the year to find seasonal outperformance in the stock market, but also in the commodity markets, of course, or in the Forex market. Yeah. And there are reasons like these earnings surprises. There are also other like fairs and so on. It's really, yeah, it's a wide field because we have so many stocks. And this example now is from the field of currencies. It shows you the euro against the US dollar. And you can here, you see here that in December, the euro typically does rise compared to the US dollar. At the turn, the average turn is exactly at the turn of the year. And then in January, the euro falls again. And this has also a strong fundamental reason. This is a tax reason in US. Big companies move their money abroad to their daughter companies to save taxes. Now, this is a bookkeeping reason for this pattern. Yeah. And after the turn of the year, this reason doesn't exist anymore and the money flows back. I talked with a friend of mine who worked in a big US oil company, and he confirmed me this reason that the companies are behaving like this. So this shows you there are many seasonal patterns. Yeah. And they are in many assets, not only in the stock indices or in the commodities. Yeah. And I think for the big picture, I decided to show you also this chart, which is not a normal seasonal chart, but a 4-year cycle chart. So you see here the Dow Jones over an average over 120 years over the election cycle. That means the left quarter of this chart shows you the typical election year, then the post-election year, then the midterm election year, and then the pre-election year. And I show you this because in the midterm election year, the stock market is typically quite weak. Yeah, and this is exactly what we do have now. The reason is simply that things which affect the people negatively, like the increase of interest rates of the Fed funds, happen typically more easily there because they don't need to look for re-election. This happens only later. Then there is more deficit spending and so on to increase the mood of the people. Yeah. And here I show you something back to seasonality. You have heard probably of many trading approaches, and there are scientists who have done, to my knowledge, the longest study of trading approaches. They compared six different trading strategies in up to more than 200 years in 68 markets. Yeah, and you see here on the left, very popular and very common strategies like the value strategy is okay, but there are better ones. And seasonality is one of 3 really good trading strategies according to this scientific study. And this confirms again there is something behind. You can make use of out of seasonality. It gives you an advantage compared to just buy and hold. Yeah, and it's also interesting. You can combine it also with your existing trading strategy, because seasonality is an input factor coming from the calendar. It's not just one more fundamental strategy or one more technical indicator. It comes from the calendar, so you can combine it statistically independent with your existing trading strategy, and you can benefit from this, and you increase your chances for a profit and decrease the risk in average. This is a short introduction on this topic. I hope it helped you. We switch now live to my colleague Tia, who shows you the seasonal charts together with statistics. This is the screen here. And I would like to mention there is not a seasonality per se, there is always a seasonal pattern. That means you see in a seasonal chart a very good trend. And this is something you can examine with 2 mouse clicks, and then you see there is an outperformance, for instance, and it's a good pattern, and then you can decide whether you invest in this particular stock, for instance, or not. So thank you very much from my side, and we continue live.
We are now turning to Tia Muratovic. She is co-founder of Seasonax, and she's going to continue on with the next part of the presentation. Tia, thank you so much for being here, and please carry on.
Good afternoon, Bruce, once again, and I'm really honored to be here today. So in the next minutes, I will show you how you can optimize your trades and your timing by using Seasonax. So for all of you guys out there, don't forget to sign up for free at Seasonax.com, and you will be able to access all of the charts and seasonal patterns that I'm going to discuss today. So Bruce, I think at the moment we are all sitting at the same boat. Rate hikes, pandemic, inflation, geopolitical situation are not making our trading decisions any easier.
Tia, I couldn't agree more. Actually, there's water in my boat. I have a leak.
I think that we are all feeling this water. So therefore, I definitely decided to show you how you can use Seasonax to find these profitable investment opportunities and to choose from different sectors that are more likely to outperform the broad market during a recession. But I also wanted to point out that please be aware that everything that I'm presenting today is not a financial advice. It's just pure statistics based on a historical data. So, okay, let's start maybe with the first sector. Healthcare is definitely a safe haven when markets turn south. And one of the stocks to consider from this sector is one pharmaceutical giant, or so-called dividend king. It's AbbVie. Give me 1 second to call up the chart. So let me explain what are you seeing in front of you. This is not the current price chart. It is the average seasonal chart of the last 10 years, or exactly to be quite precise, 9 years. The horizontal axis below in the chart shows the months within the year, and the vertical axis shows the percentage change of the price that is indexed to 100. It is also very important to say that all the statistics that will appear on the right-hand side and below always refers to the selected chart in the selected period in the chart. So let's start. I will select this period. So the period from, to be quite precise, 24th of October till December 30. So it is clearly visible that the end of October until end of December over the past 9 years have been favorable months for these pharma stocks. In this time span, if I look down, 46 trading days, shares rose on average by almost 14%. Moreover, what is even important, since 2013, the pattern returns had a winning strike of 100%. And that means that every generated gain each year since 2013. This is once again showed in the pattern returns below in these blue bars that you are seeing on your screen. So use this information when you are opening and closing your positions, and keep in mind that individual stocks, as Dimitri already mentioned, have their seasonal trends during the entire year. There are also another stocks that are trending high from this sector as Pfizer, even such insurances such as United Health on Anthem. So remember to Seasonax them all before you trade them. When I think about recession, there is also another unpopular consequence, that is many consumers will curb their spendings. However, as consumers still need to buy staples such as food or household goods, demand tends to hold better than other areas in the economy, in these sectors that are related to the foods and beverages and households. So I'm referring here to large food manufacturers such as Tyson Foods or Kellogg's or even Mondelez International. So let me try to pull up the chart of Mondelez International. Okay, here it is. So before you start to crunch the numbers, take a look at the one need function that is quite helpful that I'm now using. As you can see, it is called detrending, and I always use it when I try to analyze so-called high flyers. With one click, you can then better notice weak and strong phases within the instruments that you want to analyze. So, okay, let's stay with Mondelez. And the seasonal pattern of the Mondelez, I would say, has been quite persistent during March 23rd until July 27 in each year. So each year since 2014, Mondelez made significant gains. If I go even further, and if I take a look at the seasonal chart of the last 15 years, the winning strides are quite remarkable. Also in this year, 2022, as you can see, the stock made also a small gain. With Seasonax, you can also compare single years like 2022 or any additional year that you want to analyze. And you can also compare instrument to its peer group or to index. So when you are buying or selling your stocks, check the seasonal trend before and save a lot of money on your future transactions, of course. Okay, so let me show you maybe one more example of so-called recession-proof sector, that is the luxury goods. And Bruce, I'm not referring to Ferrari, maybe I will take some other stock now. Actually, it is a well-known fact that luxury stocks are trending quite high during uncertain times. And I will show you one interesting stock. It is called Christian Dior. So all of the fashion lovers have heard about it. So Christian Dior has quite a good trend from March until May. And it has also a great upcoming seasonal trend in October, from October 5th onwards. Of course, there is no guarantee that the seasonal pattern will reoccur also this year, but there is a high statistical probability that it does. Okay. Okay, so guys, let me show you maybe one more feature, and that is my favorite feature in Seasonax that really simplifies your trading decisions, and it is called the screener. So how does the screener work? Screener can show you really within seconds, literally, when and where to invest. Therefore, the only thing that you have to do by yourself is set your screening parameters. First of all, you have to choose the market that you want to analyze. So you can choose from different stocks, from US indices, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones, European indices, from DAX, CAC, ATX, FTSE, and so on, even US sectors or some other international like Japanese indices, or you can also choose among commodities or currencies. So in this example, I will go for, let's say, S&P 500. Secondly, you have to decide when do you want to place your trades. Do you want to place your trades today or in 1 week or in 1 month? Let's say I will go for October the 6th. Third, you have to decide how many past years do you want to analyze. So 10, 15, 20. Also, actually, this is also a good question that I'm always getting and trying to answer. So what is the best time period to choose from? Is that 10 years or 15 years or 20 years? So I would say to our users or to Seasonax users, it is quite individuals. If the people that we have from the institutional, like as institutional clients from the banks, as the researchers, they go maybe for a longer time because of the empirical studies, and the traders go for 10 or 15 years. This is like more than enough, but like it's very individual. Okay, and let's do one more thing. Let's go back to our screening parameters. So we choose so far 10 years, S&P 500, and I want to also remove all results with lower rates of winning trades than 19%. And as you can see, within the seconds, I'm getting my list, and Teradyne is ranked first. Bruce, if I'm not mistaken, Teradyne is involved in defense and aerospace, but you will know better that than me. So it is also quite handy to have this stock in the current market environment.
Yes.
So you can even, yeah.
That's been a great seasonality. Yeah, great theme, outperformance theme has been that sector, yes.
So Teradyne, as I said, is involved in defense and aerospace, so it's quite handy. So what you can do also with the screener, you can even dive deeper into the analysis by clicking on the list and opening a seasonal chart. And you can do also the same for all other currencies in the screener, currencies, or for all other commodities, for all other sectors and indices. Unfortunately, I think that so many more features that we haven't discussed. So I hope at least I managed to open your appetite to find out more. So don't forget, guys, to sign up for Seasonax. For all today's participants, this is 30% discount code.
So the code for the discount is Power30, and it's very generous of
more than 100,000 strong and weak trading patterns and daily trades. Of course, you have 3 days free trials, so use this opportunity and optimize your trades. And also, don't forget to sign up to our bi-weekly research report. It's called Seasonal Insights. So the last one was published last week, where we were discussing smoking hot stocks. So thank you, Bruce, and thank you all for joining us today. And remember, don't just trade it, Seasonax it.
Thank you so much, Tia. Thank you, Dimitri. And Tia, if you can still hear me, what is, you may have been cut off at that point, but what is the typical charge or the charge for a service like this?
Sure, Bruce. If you go to our website, you have like 2 different plans. It's full and business subscription that you can apply on. So the difference between these 2 subscriptions is the number of the screening universes that you have included. So you can subscribe to 1 year, 3 months, or 1 month. Of course, the 1 month will be the most expensive. It's $50 a month. 1 year is a little bit cheaper per month. And now you can also apply these 30 30% discount to the yearly full or business subscription or to the monthly. Power 30 discount code applies to the first invoice that you are getting from us.
Tia and Dimitri, thank you so much for being here and for showing us all about seasonality and this wonderful tool that you have. And thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time.